On the shores of a river in the area known as Ocala, we are in a forested area to meet with more than 100 women who are part of Lulu's Way. She's an internet sensation. And we're spending 3 days learning from everybody who has done van life a lot longer than I have. So, Purple Renee, how did you get your name?
I was at a meetup here in Florida last January. It was a Lulu's Way meetup. And there happened to be another woman named Renee here. And so Lulu decided that since everything I had in my van was purple, that I was going to be Purple Renee. And the name stuck.
So you're an internet sensation, as is Lulu, and I know that you now travel a lot with Lulu. So can you just speak a little bit to the friendships that are developed on the road?
I think it's such an incredible thing where these bonds create themselves really out of nothing. When I came to that meetup, I had no expectation of, becoming such close friends with Lulu the way that we did. She invited me to hang out with her on the beach, and that's pretty much how it went down. We didn't really know each other. We had met a couple of times, but we didn't really know each other. But we went and hung out on the beach, and um, we found out that we like doing, a lot of the same things, like sitting at the shoreline and just watching the water and listening to the waves and doing nothing really but being silly.
I was at the campfire last night and I was talking to a friend I had met in Texas. And also, I met another friend in Texas that I ended up staying with for 5 days in Huntsville because we just got along so well. And as you know, I'm writing a book and doing this YouTube channel. And I was saying to this friend last night around the campfire, what I'm trying to figure out is the thread that draws us all together. Do you have an idea as to what that is? Why we're all drawn together?
We just kind of like the same kinds of things. We enjoy just the freedoms that we have when we get in our vehicles and we travel, and we can go to places that we always wanted to go, and for very little expense, because we don't have to pay for a hotel room or any of these expensive reservation type things. A lot of times, uh when we travel, Lulu and Laura and I, when we travel, we find free places to go. There's Planet Fitnesses, Walmarts, Cracker Barrels, free to park, and then we find a nice lovely place to hang out during the day.
So, are you full time?
I am part-time.
You're part time. And what brought you to the road?
I wanted to travel, and I retired. It was kind of unexpected. It wasn't a planned retirement, it was something that just kind of happened. And I spent the first few months just laying around and doing nothing, just enjoying not having to go to work. But then I thought, "Ah, I need to do something." And I traveled with some friends. We went to the Keys, and one of my friends had said, "Well, you're retired now. You can live in your car." And he pointed to a vehicle on the street that actually looked like somebody had been living in it. He said, "Look at that. See, you could do that easy." So when I got home, I started exploring on YouTube, how you travel in your car. And of course, Bobwells came up, and it just looked exciting to me. I'm like, I can do that. And I don't have to pay for airfare or anything like that, because that can get expensive. So
Yeah. When I interviewed Bob Wells, I said to him, "You changed my life." And he said to me, I hear that a lot. And so you're one of the people that had their life changed
yes,
by Bob. Are you thinking about one day going full time, or could you?
I could. I'm not really thinking about it right now. I like having a place to go home to if I have to go home. Right now, I've spent many months in the last year out on the road and very little time at home. But my rent is so inexpensive that I'm afraid to let it go. And if I need to have a landing spot in the future, that I'm going to end up paying so much more for rent. So I'm hanging on to this because it's such a small expense for me. It really is.
When I left, my rent was $2,500 a month. A month. So after, like you, watching all the Bob Wells videos, and then after my car accident, watching all the Lulu videos, I thought, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
So what was most important to you about building out your van? A lot of people say the bed. Some people say the toilet situation. What did you build your van around, other than the fact that it's decorated, which we will show, but it's so lovely?
It was really the bed. I built my van around the bed. Um, I didn't build it, my son built it. And he kept saying that this was a difficult design. It wasn't, I can't see how you're going to make this work and blah, blah, blah. But he got it done. And my bed it's called a rock and roll bed. So it lays flat, but I can pull it up and it'll turn into a seat. It works better in a much bigger van. So even though it's what I really wanted, it's really not practical for this van. So I am going to do a whole rebuild. But it's been working lovely for me so far.
You've decorated on the outside a little bit, and it does sort of send a signal that there is a woman living in the van. How do you feel about safety on the road?
I don't worry about it. I really don't. It's anything can happen to you anywhere at any time. So even if I'm at home, I don't worry about, oh, I'm a single woman out here, look at me. I don't worry about that kind of thing because no matter where I go, I'm a single woman. So
Yeah.
it anything can happen at any time, anywhere.
Do you live in a major city?
I do.
How do you feel when you go home from something like this? Because I'm going home to Canada's capital in 3 weeks. And I often joke that I don't know how I'm going to reintegrate after 6 months on the road. How do you balance those two existences?
I kind of don't. When I get home, I'm happy to be there for maybe 2 days. After that, I'm ready to go again. I'm thinking about what my next trip is going to be. So I don't plan on staying there long. It's nice to be home and be in familiar territory and visit my family, and all my children live there. My parents are there. So I get to say hello to everybody, but then I hit the road again.
Do they worry about you?
I think they do. They say they do, but they don't try to stop me. They're all for, do you get whatever you can out of this life while you can.
And how long have you been doing this?
A little over 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. And we're not showing your license plate number, but you're from New York State.
Right.
So do you chase the weather? Because I'm from a similar climate and it can get difficult in wintertime.
I love this kind of climate. I had decided that 50 plus years in the snow, I'm over it. So I get out as quickly as I can before the snow falls. I didn't quite make it this year because the snow came early, but I'm out. I'm not doing snow anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I think we get a little more snow in Ottawa than you get in, is it upper or central or
It's
southern?
central New York,
Okay.
but when the winds come across Lake Ontario,
Yeah.
we're right there. That lake effect snow, we're the first dumping ground. And, we took over from Buffalo. Syracuse is the #1 snowiest city in the country right now.
Yeah. Well, I do love your city. I've been there a few times. And if you had one piece of advice to give to women who are just thinking maybe, what would that advice be?
If it's something that you really want to do, I'm going to say go for it because I'm afraid of driving other drivers on the road. I'm afraid of them. People make up their own rules. So driving is a very stressful thing for me, and it takes me a minute to get going on a long trip. Um, Fight through it is all I can say. If you have any fears about it, fight through it. You got to get out there and you got to figure it out on your own. If you're going to be afraid of everything, you're never going to do anything. So
Yeah.
I was afraid to drive a long distance by myself until I did it. And then I realized, oh, you can do it. And it was stressful. It was nail biters. I was white knuckling that, grabbing onto that steering wheel, but I did it because the end result, when I get where I'm going, that's everything. I have such a great time, and I'm so happy that I didn't miss that opportunity.
Thank you. Can we take a peek inside?
It's kind of a mess right now, but sure.
Yeah, it's reality. Thank you. So tell us about your home on wheels.
Well, this is my bed that I sleep on every night. It's got a 3-inch trifold mattress. I think it's memory foam. I got it from Amazon. And I do everything from here. This is just a cabinet that I got from Walmart. I think I ordered these cabinets from Amazon. And my son, Lulu and I put the tabletop right here on the top of this cabinet. And then my son built the bed and the shelving unit in the back. I've got magnetic shelves on the wall. I left the walls bare because I like being able to use the magnets. So I have all kinds of extra spare magnets all around the van. There's magnets here. And
yeah, I use magnets a lot too, and particularly if it's really high wind, to keep my my window covers sort of locked in. And what kind of vehicle is this?
This is a 2017 Chevy City Express. It's rebranded. It's actually a Nissan NV200, but Chevy decided to buy a bunch of them and then change the name. So put their logos on it. But so if there's any major things that I need to have done, I have to take it to a Nissan dealer. But
me too, Nissan Rogue.
Yeah.
And your flooring is fancy. And did you do this yourself?
I did. My son-in-law helped me put this together. It's just I put some 3/4 inch insulation, 3/4 inch ply. And then I put peel and stick tiles. I just ordered from Amazon.
And how's it holding up?
It's holding up pretty well. It's actually stuck down a lot better than I thought. Like some of the reviews indicated that the tiles come apart, but I haven't had any tiles coming apart.
Okay. And you, just about the back, because I'm just going to show, you've got this lovely outdoor seating area, which the ladies gather at night. But you set up your back to access through the cargo door? Or can you access everything from inside?
I can access everything from inside. My refrigerator is under the bed here.
Right.
So when I'm inside, I lift the bed. Kind of show you.
Sure.
The pillows get in the way to keep it from going up. My book bag that I use every day, but the bed goes up. There's a handle here that I just pull up. Get my fingers in there. Oh, the book bag is. Let me get that out of the way.
I love that you carry books with you. And then you can access your fridge.
And then I can access the fridge from here. And I just climb over here.
Okay,
and I can get to my fridge.
And what are you cooking things on your fridge in?
I like my little electric appliances. I have mini dashes. I have a My Mini.
Okay.
But I do also have a butane stove.
Oh, look at all the storage you have under your bed.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you put your bed down and becomes a comfortable sleeping area. You've got tons of storage.
Yeah. There's still space for stuff.
And you took out seats?
There were no seats. It's
Oh,
a
there were no
cargo
seats.
van, so
Okay.
it didn't have any seats at all in the back. My plan is to take the front passenger seat out, though.
Okay. And it's not on a swivel yet?
No.
So you're just going to take it out entirely?
Yeah.
And then will you move your bed back?
I will.
So it's part of the front seat?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a Lulu setup, sort of, where I put my bed
in the front.
forward. So I have this space in the back for cabinets.
And then that will be easier to access all your cooking and everything like that.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
I find my doctor told me a few years ago I have osteoporosis, so too many days of lifting up this bed really bothers my back, and it kind of last week it kind of killed a couple of days for me, but you know, take a Tylenol and keep it moving.
I actually have osteoarthritis, so we're kind of on the same wavelength. I want to thank you so much and for being a leader in this community. You're just a ray of sunlight. Like when people see your van and you put up your purple tent on the back, it's just like feeling a little bit like home. I was so excited to greet you the other day when I arrived. And the thing about YouTube, I find, is that sometimes you think you have these relationships with people that you've only met once.
Exactly.
Because you follow their lives, right? So thank you, Purple Renee.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Okay.